Yo, what is going on everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Lamzu Thorn and all my thoughts and opinions about this mouse and if it's worth picking up over everything else. So first I want to start what comes in the box. It comes with this little USB extender thingy so you can plug your dongle in, keep it in front of your mouse pad. It also comes with this little sticker that you put on the bottom of your mouse to cover up the holes so you don't get dust in there. And it also comes with a spare set of skates and also comes with their Lamzu grips. The grips are pretty nice, but I did opt for aftermarket grips. I will explain that later. It compares really well to white mice with good coating. Like the X2H, the one that I had, or the X2A in white, the coating was always nice, but compared to the black variants of the same mice, the X2 Black X2H and the Black X2 V2, or even the Death Adder V3 wired, it just doesn't hold up as well. For someone like me that has hyperhidrosis, the coating is kind of a really big deal where I want it to grip my hand the more that I sweat. And the Lamzu I felt being a little bit slippery after a bit of time. It is an improvement on their coating from the original Lamzu Atlantis. But compared to the Atlantis OG V2 and the Lamzu Atlantis Mini V2, it just doesn't feel as good as the black variants of those. So if you're looking at getting the Thorn, get the black version. The white one does not have the good coating like the black ones do. So I forgot to mention the software in the video, but the Lamzu software is a bog standard software. You have your performance settings. You can set your DPI stages and your DPI alongside your polling rate if you are using the 4K dongle. If you're not using the 4K dongle, the setting will not show up. You also change your LOD, your mode. You can change everything here. Also set the macros and then just your basic settings for the mouse alongside your basic what does what. So it's a fairly standard software, nothing crazy, nothing insane. Next, I want to talk about the clicks. The clicks in this mouse are the same clicks used in the Pulsar mice, the Risha clicks, and they come in the same manufacturer and factory as the Razer Gen 3 clicks or Gen 2 clicks, which everyone Razer's using now. They're using pretty much the same things or like a version of them. They're a modified version of them. So they felt really nice and responsive. I am using a Razer click in one and I'm using a Lamzu click in the other one, and they feel really nice. They feel completely similar. I feel no differences at all. So yeah, these are pretty much just Razer clicks. Next, I want to compare it to some of my favorite Ergo shapes and just other Ergo shapes on the market. First, we're going to start with the Logitech G703. These mice are probably nothing close to each other. G703 being more of a palm focus or claw grip mouse, and the Lamzu Thorn being more of a claw grip focused mouse compared to palm or even like not even fingertip. I feel like with the G703 you can do more grip types compared to the Lamzu Thorn, where it kind of locks you into this kind of claw, or kind of like the hump profile on the side is a lot more aggressive, similar to the MPO-1S, but not as aggressive as the MPO-1S. As where the G703, it kind of slants like all in one motion. It doesn't bulge out like the Lamzu Thorn. Next, we're going to compare it to my all-time favorite Ergo shape. This is the Prime Wireless. This is my wireless Black Ice version. This is a custom mod that I did, where the side profile, as you see here, is a little bit more bulged out, closer to the Thorn, but I still wouldn't say it feels the same. Also, with the sides of the Prime being very flat, your mouse kind of, your thumb kind of rests on the side a little bit compared to the Thorn, where the taper is a lot more aggressive. It edges further in, so it kind of feels like your fingers resting further inward, and again, that kind of helps locking in for this claw grip style that this mouse is kind of meant for. It's not as good as palm as the Prime, where the back of the mouse tapers off a lot more than the Thorn, where it's much more center hump focus, again, just locking in for that claw grip. And finally, I want to go on to my favorite Ergo shape to ever exist. This is the Death Adder V3 wired. I did have the V3 Pro, but I ended up selling it or trading it a while back. So this is what I got to replace it, and the coating on this thing is amazing. The clicks feel really nice. The cable, I did shorten mine a little bit, so it is a little bit looser than the standard cable. So it's like, it feels like a custom paracord than the standard Death Adder V3 wired cable. But this is probably the closest shape to the Lamzu Thorn that you can get, but it's still not one-to-one. It's a little bit longer, a little bit wider on the top. Where the Lamzu Thorn is completely straight going up, the Death Adder V3 flares out a little bit towards the top, also with this side hump here. But the side hump on the Death Adder V3 just isn't as aggressive. And that side and that hump profile is probably just as tall as the Lamzu. So the Lamzu feels like a shorter version of the Death Adder V3, and it just feels really good in hand. If you had the black coating version, the white coating version, I had to at least add a grip onto the main click because it just got really slippery at some point. Finally, I want to talk about the 4K hertz polling consistency. If you see these giant dips in the graphs, that is because I was an idiot when I first started doing the graphing and I didn't redo them. But if we just ignore the giant gaps, you can see here that it's relatively consistent, not dipping anything under 3395. So it was going to 3395 and then it was staying around 4000, which is really good. It's the same thing with Razer's 4K implementation, where the lowest I've seen a dip down to was 3392, I believe, but it was around 4K, 3999 consistent. Same thing with the X2H and the Dharma-Strike M3S, where the Dharma-Strike M3S was running at 2K hertz polling rate, but the lowest I've seen it dip down to was this 1995-ish area where it dipped down 5 hertz, but nothing that nothing you ever feel in game. Pulsar having probably the most, like the largest dip, it going down into the 3380s, but still being relatively high up. So the Lamzu Thorn just performs just as good as any other mouse with 4K hertz. And I feel like you're not going to really lose out picking up the 4K hertz dongle with this mouse. You're going to get the same exact performance that you're getting with most other mice. So finally, I just want to say that if you're looking at getting the Lamzu Thorn, it's definitely a solid pickup. I really recommend picking it up if you're using a claw grip or some kind of palm claw hybrid. The side profile of the mouse isn't really comfortable for things like full palm or even fingertip, where your fingers are kind of like balls out on the side. I wouldn't really recommend it for those two grip styles, but if you're using a claw or a palm claw hybrid, this is going to be a solid pickup for anyone using those grip styles. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I do have a lot of videos coming up. Like I have this review on the Artisan Shidenkai coming very soon. I was lucky enough to be able to receive one of these well before release date. I also have a review of the Deluxe M800 coming out very soon as well. It's really good mouse, but I had a lot of QC issues that I feel like I needed to talk about in the video. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Oh well, play the cards that I'm given. Oh well, play the cards that I'm given. Oh well, play the cards that